Y'all see the title up there or down there? Hit that like button. Child support laws, divorce law. I got the American glasses on. Things have been changing right in front of our faces. And boy, isn't some of the folks out there explosively shocked, mad, deterred. Everything has changed. Got a new game in town. Let's get this show started. Share it with your friends, your male audience. The child support laws, the divorce laws have changed in a lot of states. So let's get this thing to cracking. And I mean, it's a lot of changes. I got some good stuff coming up to you. I hope your Palatine, and Valentine's Day was great because this is what's coming and this is what's here. Let's check it out. I'm going to crack it up to this one first. This is one that triggered it for me. So, but it is a funny one right here. Where's the one that made me start laughing first? Oh, this one.
Welcome to the deep dive. So, a lot of you have been asking us about new.
Fighting for fairness, one dad at a time.
Guys, guess what? I just won custody back of my daughter. Book saved my life. If you're a dad in family court fighting for your kids, grab a copy right now.
Welcome to the deep dive. So, a lot of you have been asking us about new child support laws for 2026, specifically what's changing for fathers.
Right.
And, well, the thing is, the final legislative text, it hasn't fully landed yet.
But what we do have, and this might be even more revealing, is a full year's worth of court outcomes from 2025.
Exactly. The real world rulings.
And these cases, they show us the trends, where the judiciary's head is at. And the trends are incredibly strong.
They really are. But before we jump in, we have to start with the essential caveat.
Always. Child support and custody are so jurisdiction specific. Every state is different.
But the patterns we
Every
found
state is
really
different.
do point to these powerful national themes.
So
Especially around judicial accountability.
Okay, so
So
let's get into the biggest takeaway first. Actual, tangible financial relief.
It's massive. Judges are delivering what you could really call absolute victories, which is not something we saw this frequently in the past.
They're looking at the finances with a much harder eye, aren't they? I mean, we saw a
Yes.
case from May 2025
starting
where
to say it's
48...
unconstitutional. The Supreme Court said it's unconstitutional now. That's a major win too. And if you don't believe me, stay tuned. Stay tuned, okay? Stay tuned. Let's check out this one. They say some of the stuff is starting to be unconstitutional. And when they say it, it's a wrap. Everybody knows this. When they say it, it's a wrap. So let's check out this one right here. The one that got me curious about, let me see what's happening in these YouTube and media screens. So this one right here, let's move this back. Let's go this way. Fair use, fair use, fair use. And single moms are shocked by new support laws. The West is waking up. Man won't cash out on any more divorce rate. But then you got to look at this. Let's look at this one. This one right here. Single moms are panicking over new child support laws, part 1. Let's crack this first. And this show is manhood. So let's check this out. Fair use. Let's get it really popping and cracking. It's right here. Bam! Fresh off the presses. I know y'all want to see this.
Got another good one for you. Child support was declared unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. Supreme Court decisions are a judge's Achilles heel. It is their death knell. When you find Supreme Court decisions supporting your case, it's a wrap. Okay, let me read it to you. It's delicious. Okay, child support was declared unconstitutional in a Minnesota Supreme Court ruling for violating the separation of powers required by the Minnesota Constitution in Article 3, Section 1. Further, child support agencies actions are also unconstitutional due to lack of probable cause. You don't even have to find case law. Just quote everything that I just said, put that in a notice, and send that to the clerk of court. And notate your case number if it's in the court, or send it to the child support agency with your case number with the child.
Ooh, this is bad for women wanting child support and popping kids left, right, and center.
If that parent is involuntarily unemployed, he or she is entitled to go to the Department of Revenue and request an immediate change or a modification to their parenting plan. I'll tell you right now, the Department of Revenue does not do that. It's required by federal law and state law. Doesn't get done. I add that the legislation as well as the child support services guidelines are very different. They're not congruent. In fact, it says in the Child Support Guidelines Handbook that if somebody is involuntarily unemployed or underemployed, you're supposed to take their actual income and apply it to the child support. It's really important, I think, that you see how these guidelines and how it...
See, because what I believe in have been happening, and then they just still try to stick it to you with the regular child support payment of your previous employers and jobs and stuff like that. That's what I'm getting from this take of what he's saying right here. That they still stuck into a previous payment at one height of where their payments were. And now people have figured out some good loopholes, and these loopholes don't have nothing to do with prenup, other loopholes, so that this is what my salary is. So some of these laws are being changed right in front of these women's face, in America's face,
how it really
in certain states
works. Because when you're really out there, it's very different than what I think your perspective is, just looking at something black and white. I appreciate when you're looking at legislation, you're saying, there's the guideline, it seems clear enough. But out there in the real world, and that's in fact what I came here to speak about, it is not being applied correctly, it is not being applied evenly, and it's hurting a lot of people.
Child support is the most corrupt system in America.
Child support was never for the child to take possession of the money. Child support is in order for you to contribute to the well-being and raising of your child when you do not have them. So, meaning, however child support money is spent is however child support money gets spent, because it is paying someone back for what has already been done. If that was the case, the mother wouldn't be on the court order and it would be the child on the court order, and you would be having to pay this money to the child. But that's not what the case is, huh? No, you're not making any sense. I'm not understanding any of this. Because at the end of the day, is your child housed? Is your child fed? Is your child clothed? I don't believe you, because if it was really a concern that you were really like, my child's being neglected, you would have called CPS, not me.
I'm speeding it up.
Then report it. You have a duty to your child, not to just pay child support, but also to care for their well-being. So if you really feel like your child is being abused and mom is just out spending money wherever she feels like it, call the authorities. Don't call me.
See? And that's what most people do. So it's a lot of changes. We can come back to that. That was manhood. Go over there and check that out. Go check that out. Now we're going to get into some more of the nitty of the real gritty right now with this. See, so I know this is not a real good screen to be seeing on this day, but at least the day is turning down and we're getting ready to see some of these changes. And here's the biggest one of all that really made me crack into this. And I knew a commercial was going to try to sneak in. So let's check out this and see what's happening.
Hi, yeah, my furnace is making a rattling sound.
We can send a tech in the morning.
If you have your child less, yo, the very system that used to treat involved fathers the same as absent ones just got flipped on its head. Georgia just handed fathers an insane advantage. And this is about to change the child support dynamics in a major way. For decades, you could spend real time with your kids, pick them up, feed them, house them, be present, and still pay the same damn child support as a man who barely showed up. The system did not care. Time didn't matter, effort didn't matter, presence didn't matter. But as of now, Georgia has quietly activated a new child support formula, and it changes everything. Parenting time finally counts. If you have your child more, you pay less. If you have your child less, you pay more. That's the shift. And I'm about to break this down right now, because fathers who actually take care of their kids just got a major buff. And if you understand how this works,
check that
it
out.
Completely changes how child support plays in our favor.
And
As
I
of
got
this
another
update,
video coming.
parenting time actually counts towards what you pay. And if you read the comments on articles talking about this, the women are pissed. So let me break down exactly what just dropped and why this changes the entire child support game. And deep inside this update is a shift most people haven't processed yet. Men were on child support paying a full balance based on income. At the same time, they were spending real time with their kids and spending real money on their kids.
Real
So
money
fathers
while
have to
spending
sit there
time with
and
them.
contemplate, do I do
Paying
this for my
child
child
support and
financially, or do I
spending
pull
money on
back
them while you work?
just to make sure the full child support payment clears? That was the position men were put in. And on top of that, the system allowed the mother to receive the full child support balance while
Even
the father
though-
was still showing up and spending
spending
money
it.
during his parenting time.
Get
And
it
a lot
now.
of that money wasn't even going to the child.
Wasn't
Hair,
even going into the
nails,
calculator.
personal expenses, things for her individually. In some cases, the child didn't even see a dime. Men complain about this for years. They said the system punished involvement. They said it punished presence, and nobody listened. Because once you were on child support, your time didn't matter. That was the game. And now that
Now
game
your
is over.
time
The
and the
new
money
rules
matter.
demand
New rules.
documentation, court-ordered parenting
People are
plans,
lobbying.
verified schedules, paperwork that actually reflects reality. And if the
dates.
numbers don't match the time, the formula doesn't move. If your involvement doesn't show up on paper, it doesn't count. And you think that doesn't change behavior? Think again. Every attempt to cut the father's time short, every move
these
to
women
reduce
going
excess,
state to
every
state
effort to control
may
the
not be
schedule
working in your
now
favor.
has a financial consequence attached to it, because parenting time isn't suggested anymore. It's part of the calculation. Under the old system,
Ooh. Georgia ain't playing. Minnesota ain't playing. Oh man, some people are woo, they are straight up lobbying, boy. That's some smoke right there, man. Go over there and check his channel out. It's like, man, I might could play a little bit more of Darwin, Pearson. I mean, ooh, man. But now let's look at the other heat that's coming. Single moms are shocked by new child support laws in the West. We looked at manhood. Man just won. Cash out any more divorce rates, cash lawyer. This one, I think I have one more. This one, right? Pennsylvania child support laws. That one. The 50% dad. Let's check it out. And we're going to get to that right now. The 50% dad. Okay? Pennsylvania.
And he ran a.
And this is how some of the calculators work.
Hey, this is a video about Pennsylvania child support and how it's calculated. To start with, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just somebody who's been through this process personally. I was going through a divorce and my lawyer called me up one day to say my ex filed for child support, and he ran a calculation for how much I would probably end up paying.
And that's how it be looking.
He was able to run that calculation because the law is basically a mathematical formula, and there's calculators out there. You can just Google it yourself to determine how much you probably owe. But it's really
Look
just
at
like doing
that gross
taxes.
income,
It's a lot of
combined
math.
monthly net income,
There's very little
basic
wiggle
child
room.
support
It does not
obligation.
matter how good your lawyer is. Does not matter what judge you get.
Look, it got combined total monthly net income, basic child support obligations, net income expenses and stuff. Let me see. I hope y'all hear me. Do y'all see what I'm reading? Reading down there at the bottom? And they got each parent shared income, monthly shared and basic income, and it got some more in there. So let's see.
At the end of the day, the math is the math. And
See, and it moves to more stuff. See? So feel free to go and check out that one. And that's what the math is looking like. Wow. So let's get back over here. And then people talking about that they're going to leave. Man just won. So let's look at what Remy. Mom, cash out any more divorce rates.
This is Jack.
So let's look at what this divorce rate thing is going to talk about. Now we're going to look at what this divorce rate is really talking about. You know what I mean? Because that's a major win. That parenting time and the time you spend with your kids while you're out with them, whether you're buying toys, taking them to movies, lunches, paying for their dance classes, football, uniforms, all that goes into the calculation, including the time. And when they spend the night with you or spend the summertime, whatever the arrangement is, with the 50-50 custody. Because that never used to be looked at. So now check out this next one. And then if that get too stressful for the female, well, what if they just panic and say, I want a divorce? And then stuff like this may happen. So let's check out this one. Okay.
Walks away with the kids. Mom walks away with the check. Divorces in Kentucky just collapsed by 25%. Not because couples suddenly found love again, but because the cash out game is over. For decades, divorce was treated like a jackpot. Mom walks away with the kids. Mom walks away with the check. And dad? He's reduced to a weekend visitor and a paycheck.
Man,
one state just nuked its divorce rates by doing one rare thing that the rest of America would never dare.
And there is a real danger that the divorce rate is going down because it's harder for women to leave.
If I have my child half the time, why am I paying full support? Like I'm not even around. I'm feeding them, clothing them, taking them to school, wiping their tears, just like she is. But somehow only I have to pay up. This system don't reward fatherhood. It punishes it.
Kentucky flipped the script. They became the first state in America to pass a law making 50-50 custody the default. And the moment that happened, something incredible and honestly terrifying for some people was exposed. When women realized they could no longer cash out through the courts, divorce filing dropped overnight.
Wow.
A full quarter of fewer divorces in one state compared to just 18% nationwide. Men call it fairness. Women's group, they call it dangerous. And that clash right there between fairness and fear is why this story is exploding.
Kentucky, because now I got the divorce. Now I can get the child support, alimony. I can start cashing out, but they're not playing that game. The game is about to be played different.
There are reports coming out of Kentucky that the divorce rate has completely plummeted. 25%. It's gone down 25%. Like, that's significant. You know, when the divorce rate nationally rests, I don't know, I think a little bit above 50%. To have it drop 25% in one state means to pay attention. It's a reason to pay attention.
And here's the kicker. The money numbers prove it. Before this law, a dad making $4,000 a month would be forced to hand over nearly $10,000 a year in child support. After the new law, that drops to maybe $200 a month, sometimes zero. We're talking about a $7,500 swing in every year. Plus, something even bigger, half of his child's life back. I'll break down that math in just a moment. But first, let's talk about why this single change sent shockwaves through the divorce industry. Because let's be real, if divorce filing dropped by 25% the second the financial jackpot disappeared, what does that tell you? For years, men have been told, no, it's not about the money. Women just aren't happy. But The data speaks louder than the excuses.
They happy now.
As soon as the reward for leaving was gone, so was the rush to file divorce. And that's why this law is stirring up a storm.
See?
Fathers say it's
A hell of an
justice.
incentive.
Critics say it's a trap.
Say them streets are too
Women's groups
hot.
are arguing that it locks moms in marriages and puts kids at risk. But let's look at the bigger picture. Florida, Arkansas, West Virginia, Missouri.
See, it dropped because now they know, like, wow, we're not gonna give rewards, so you can't get to buy that pogo stick down the street or next door on the other side of the world, or take them trips to Jamaica or wherever you go. These states say, hey, no more. Hey, you living high on the hog on that so-called husband that wasn't paying no attention, but was being a dedicated husband, bringing home the bacon, taking care of the kids, putting his 100 of his 50% in with your 50%. I'm just saying. And look at this. Shared custody law is followed by other states. Look at it. Read it.
They've already filed Kentucky's lead. And right now, over 20 more states are considering it. This isn't just about Kentucky.
Do y'all see them other states? See them other states? Now that's going to be a hell of an incentive for people to leave a whole lot of, I guess, hey, these states that got these raggedy child support and divorce laws, like LA, New York, California. It's going to be a lot of empty states with a lot of empty buildings, and it's going to change some of the real estate game because people are going to be living in them states, holding on to their homes, housing, and women are going to still have access to that man's checkbook because now they're going to realize that this is a great family to be in and a deal. No more busting up the family on no fault divorce. That's what the lead attorney used to say. I hope he grabbed a little bit of some of this and really give us some more breakdown. But I believe it's coming pretty soon. So let me see if we can read a little bit of what this pretty woman right here is saying.
This is the beginning of the end for the divorce cash out system. The critics say this law puts women and children in danger. But when you actually look at the facts and when you see how much the system was really built on men's wallet, you'll understand why this law isn't just saving families. It's exposing the truth about modern divorce.
I don't think it's necessary. We split her 50-50. She's at my house just as much. She's with me just as much, if not more.
Your Honor, I would say that's probably an argument for her to pay me. If we're splitting 50-50, I shouldn't have to pay all of it.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. So you kind of like told on yourself. So you ready to move forward with the numbers?
Sure.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and get ready with the numbers. So it looks like you make, like I said, $100,000 a year. Do you work overtime or is that regularly what you make?
No, I work overtime. But
okay. And does that include overtime?
Yes, ma'am. It's a salaried position, so it's just straight up.
All right. Let's put some real numbers on this because the math is what makes it undeniable. Before Kentucky passed the 50-50, the typical story looked like this. Dad makes about $4,000 net income. Mom gets the kids 80% of the time. Dad gets every other weekend and maybe one dinner during the week. Under those guidelines, child support lands around 20% of his income. That's about $800 a month, nearly $10,000 a year, gone. And remember, that's on top of insurance, school costs, and extras he still has to cover. Now, after 2018 with 50-50 custody as a default, same dad, same income, but now he has his kids half the time, which means child support gets offset. Instead of $800 a month, he might pay maybe $200 to $300 a month. In some cases, if mom makes close to the same amount, he pays nothing, zero. That's not just $7,500 a year staying in his pocket. That's also half of his child's life back. He's not just a paycheck anymore. He's a parent again. And this is where things get heated because
Do y'all hear it? And that's the problem. A lot of the kids don't get a chance to be parented by the other custodial parent, like their dad. Like you know, I couldn't be parented by my dad because I came out here in a plane at like years old or 1 year old. And then I guess my dad was supposed to follow her, huh? I don't know. But then a whole lot of other shocking information came down later on. But now they gets to be a parent again. This is failure. Man, I want to play this whole thing, man. Let's play a little bit more.
If you think men celebrated, you're right. But women's groups, they lost their minds. They say this law traps women in bad marriages and puts kids in danger.
Woo!
But when you actually look at what people on the ground are saying, the story looks very different. Top male comment. If divorces drop by 20%, the second child support dries up. That proves it was never about happiness. It was about the money. Another father says, for once, courts don't see me as just a wallet. This is the first time in decades I feel like an equal parent. A mom's comment. I'm in a Kentucky mom group, and women are literally deciding whether to leave their husbands based off of this law. It's hard for them now. Someone responds to, hard for them? You mean hard because they can't cash out anymore. This isn't trapping women. It's finally equality. This is what makes this law explosive. For men, it's not just about saving money.
Holding them
It's
accountable.
about finally being seen
the
as more than
family.
just disposable. For critics, it's the end of a system they quietly benefited from for decades.
So feel free to go over here and check out this video. Man, I mean, the name of this video where it can be found is right here. And I think I got one more in the chamber, y'all. This video, Man Just Won, Remy Renee, something right here. We looked at the calculator, the formula. We looked at manhood and new child support law trend. Did we look at Vineyard? Yeah, we looked at this. I'm leaving if Trump signs this new law, and let's see if it's any more up in here. See, they got the don't get fined, but what about Kentucky? Let's put KY up there. And then here's California. I bet you ours is real right. I'm going to be forced to work. American man finally breathe. New trust part. This is the day ago on manhood. Let's check out this one.
Let's piss some people off. So I have seen this over and over and over again, and I'm really kind of sick of it. You know, especially working a bar for 22 years.
Woo!
You know, a lot of men, and I'm not saying all men because that's just ridiculous and it's rude. I have known some stand-up fathers, men. I've known a lot of them, and good people. But I've also noticed that a lot of men will have girlfriends that have children, and they feel that the father of said children should absolutely be paying child support. Absolutely. But when it comes to the mother of that man's children, child, whatever, they shouldn't be getting child support because they're just a bunch of money-hungry whores and they're just gonna take my money and spend it on whatever and blah, blah, blah. What is that exactly? I mean, Lord forbid that in this economy that a decent mom might actually need some help. That she's not
check her out. Being smooth with it, man. She's smooth.
Or blowing the money on
That smooth
things
cat
that
ass
are not
lady.
actually important, but is completely using that money for the children?
Huh?
Or to keep a roof over their head? Like, what is it? Is it as long as you're sleeping with her, it's okay if she gets child support? I just, you
What
know,
is she saying?
that's gonna ruffle some feathers, and I'm sure all kinds. I don't give a shit because I have seen it. I have seen it, and it's just.
So what is she saying? She just basically rambling at this point. They always find some cheating stuff.
No. So, yeah. Hope y'all are having a good one.
You helped create this child. It is your responsibility to take care of this
And
child.
here's the reaction.
Just because you can't get along doesn't mean a child doesn't need to be taken care of.
So I've been seeing a lot of men cover that new child support Trump shit about how if you put your baby daddy on child support,
with the shame.
then you can't claim your child under taxes. Only the father can. And a lot of men is like, oh, that's right, because if you're taking care of your child for the whole year, why she get to claim the baby on taxes? Bitch, newsflash. A lot of you motherfuckers that's in them comments and acting like y'all father of the year, how many thousands y'all behind? What woman you know, and I'm talking about a woman in her right mind, has a baby dad that helps with them kids, co-parents well, cause no problems, and they running down to the law for some help? What the fuck do she need help with? Being nice, bitch? Y'all so happy, but you gotta understand you're going to have to cash out in order to cash in. So, bitch, if you're doing what you're supposed to do and meeting me halfway, I wouldn't give a fuck about no income, like claiming no child, and I'm just being all the way real. I've been paying business taxes for the past 4-5 years any goddamn way. I wasn't getting much back. Do your part, though. Don't make it so hard on me, though. Who gives a fuck?
Is she talking about her
'Cause I
situation?
guarantee
No.
you, a
She
good
just
man ain't on
shouting
child
back.
support, baby.
Huh?
He just not. And if he is, he don't know how to work the system and prove that he do his part. Because, bitch, they not going to put you on child support for just anything. But,
So, ladies and gentlemen, I have probably the biggest news that you've probably heard yet to date. So, Miss Missive is running for office, and not only is she running for office, she has drafted a legislation to be signed by Congress to end alimony and child support. All she needs is the guys to sign it. What this means is child support and alimony are most likely going to be coming to an end. And we're not talking on a state level. We're talking on a congressional, U.S.-wide level. So, and mind you, she, the woman, has understood and seen the facts and has decided that this is a serious, serious, serious problem. And the best way to fix the problem is to end child support laws and end alimony. So the alimony, everyone is 100% behind pretty much, except for the ladies who are being paid alimony.
Do y'all hear that? Everybody's pretty much behind as much, except the ladies that are being paid alimony. So now that gravy train is going to crash. So a lot of the athletes, hey, they may not get married in that state of that team that they're playing in. Whether they're baseball, football, basketball player, tennis player, lawyer, doctors. This is going to change the game.
There is no logical reason for me to continue to pay for your lifestyle after you decide to leave.
We didn't leave. They
Go
left.
hang out with Chad and
Brad.
Tyrone.
And
Okay.
Jerome.
I get that.
Jerome in the house.
Maybe an initial alimony of help you move out. But if you decided to leave, you decided to leave. That is on you. The child support. So now child support is going to be 100% voluntary, right? The guy can then choose whether he wants to pay it or not. And the argument being cited is the woman.
So there's going to be a lot of protective sex and things of that nature. Maybe might jump off. Marry before you carry, that type of thing. Do some hell of a courting and dating. I mean, man, this is going to be a lot. Let's just move this up. Feel free to go over there and check out this screen right here. Let's see if there's some more new stuff up in here. Let's see. Let's see if this one. Oh, do I want to hear it from her?
$500 fine.
Whoever comes off of these welfare from the state.
States on custody interference. So they now have a 3-strike rule, meaning 3 strikes of custody interference and you're out. Or I guess in this case, actually in state jail for a felony. So the first offense, misdemeanor, $500 fine. Second offense, you are on very thin ice. The third offense, it is now punishable for up to 2 years behind bars. Okay, the twist is that this isn't just about criminal court. This is not just about charges in a criminal proceeding. Family courts can also use these violations, okay, to flip custody to the other parent or award the cutoff parent double makeup time, attorney's fees, all the things that you would typically see in an enforcement of possession and access. But they are cracking down, okay? Some say this finally gives dads real protection when they've been shut out of the kids' lives, okay? And others say it punishes moms who are just trying to keep their kids safe. But if you ask me, I think that most moms who are withholding for safety reasons are not the first ones to have the money to hire an attorney.
And it's like they're making up these safe reasons because, like, from what I learned from the lead attorney show is that the man is the one usually paying for all these court fees and this, that. But you got this mom that will move to another state or another part of the county and to try to be in another judge's face and jurisdiction. And now that's what this law right here, I believe, will do. The new 3-strike custody law. I might bring some more of this in something tomorrow. This is going to do something because we're running around trying to get this time with our kids and custodies and stuff of that nature. And that's what I think this is going to slow up all of that.
And file a modification and let the
From filing all those modifications.
judge know what's going on if CPS has already ruled out the allegations. Okay, so this is a very real scenario. I'm not saying it's every scenario where a mom or a parent is withholding the child from the other parent, but I think that this law could definitely hit the most vulnerable the hardest if they find themselves in those cases, right? Also important, only custody interference charges that happened after September 1st, 2025 will count towards the 3 strikes. So they're basically giving people a clean slate, okay?
Woo!
So what do you think about this? Do you think that it's definitely going to hold parents accountable, or do you think it's another law that's just going to drag more families into court? Let me know your thoughts.
So the thing of it is that some women don't even know what is going on and they playing that game now. And it's crazy, like I say in the tab there. So they keep playing this game now, boy. If they're playing it right now, all if they played it in all of 2025, it's been playing. And if that man did his paperwork right and showed proof that she was playing right here, strike, playing right there, strike, and then she get that wonderful judge one more time, it's gonna be in his custody, and then the shoe gonna be on the other feet, and it ain't no fun when the rabbit has the gun. So let me see how much of this video I played so far. Oh wow, dang! Could I get one more out of it? Let me see. Let me tell you this one.
Court for violating the court order.
All right, so allegedly, Anthony Edwards just paid this woman, his baby mama, 18 years of child support up front to avoid dealing with her and all her drama. Drama means every single time she gets angry, she'll go file for an increase in support. Every time he gets a new business deal, she's going to go file for an increase in support. Once he has a new woman, she's going to go file for an increase in support. Once he has a baby with that new woman, she's going to go file for an increase in support. If he ever wants 50-50 custody, she will fight tooth and nail because that will be going against her check, her only source of income. So he decided with his little crystal ball that he would avoid all the BS and set an example for all young men on how to remedy this situation. If she threatens you before your baby even takes his first breath, go see a lawyer and have them tell you how much money you be paying every single month based off of your income for child support. Then go get yourself a loan and have that same lawyer represent you in family court so you can pay 18 years up front and save yourself the drama, mental anguish, stress, threats, the thoughts of unaliving yourself, and walk away with your peace. Because at least when you're making those monthly payments back to the bank for that large loan you took out, the bank will not tell you you ain't shit. They won't tell you that little bit of money you're paying back ain't shit. They can't threaten to increase your payments, and they cannot interfere with your new relationships. And the bonuses is that you'll be getting a better credit score because you'll be making your payments on time every month. Then you'll be able to say you have discipline, experience with loans and managing your money, and when that
That's
child
something
turns
different.
18, you can teach that child how to manage their money and their lifestyle as
Oh,
well. But
wow.
just don't make this mistake more than once, because you're not going to be able to afford to take out more than one loan.
I think a lot of
Man, that's weird. So what is this one? I'm doing one more.
Can pay your bill. Very great.
it greatly reduces the risk of these nightmares, not to mention what you can catch.
Last one, y'all.
Very little women complain in my comments about paying child support, but you know what they do say? I'm independent and I decided that I didn't want child support, so I declined it, which actually isn't your decision to make. If you are independent and don't need the support from your ex, fucking great. Bravo, whether you're a male or a female, good for you. I'm glad that you can pay your bills without the help of anybody, just you. But this decision actually isn't yours to make. So what I would suggest doing is taking the child support, because it's your kids' child support that is legally their right, and moving it into a bank account, maybe a high interest savings, and collecting it and keeping it in there, and invest it, do whatever you want to do with it, put it into an RESP, or keep it so that they can do whatever they want to do with it when they get out and move out on their own.
Wow.
Maybe this could be a good down payment for them, for their first condo
Well,
or their
that's
first
good.
house.
Well,
or
it's
they can go
ending on this
traveling
note.
with it, or do whatever the fuck they want to do with it.
Ooh.
But it is nobody's choice to decline the child support. Period. It's just not your decision to make. And the child support guidelines, the federal child support guidelines, are set up in a way to not make parents go broke. They're set up in a way to be fair and based on their income and how much they're earning. And
Well, feel free to check out the rest of that video. I thought she was leading to the point of, like, talking about the new law changes. But these last two videos had some pretty good strategies. The one before this, the strategy was to get a loan, pay for the whole 18 years. You can't beat that. That is smart. I never heard of that one. But this one's talking about investing it. So, at the beginning of the video, go over here and check out the Manhood channel. And this is the kind of stuff that be on this channel. Let's see what sort of stuff be on. See? This is the kind of stuff that be in the channel right here. See? So feel free to go over there and check it out. And I might go back to that channel and play some of their stuff. So let's stop sharing and thank all of y'all for checking out this show. Those was the latest update. I might bring back the rest of part of those videos of the updates I did earlier in this video. Hit that like button, share, and remember what these new laws will really do. It is like what I'm saying. Recovery is an inside job. Lobbying is an inside job. Protesting and all that, that's outside. Inside, we get the paperwork inside. The left door, the window, anything you do. And then if we can get enough paperwork in there, maybe one day we will see these women marching the streets saying, hey, let's change some of these laws so we can know the other half of the family. Because most of these men and women don't even know who is their grandfather on their father's side or their great-grandfather. So with that, I'd like to say a note, or who is their uncles on their father's side of the family, because of all of these shenanigans. And these new laws, they're running from state to state. Ooh, I like the way that one sounds. It's like 3 strikes. Ooh, that's going to be a penalty. We've been playing this shenanigans in all 2024, and you don't even know that these laws is already crafted in some states. Kentucky, Tennessee, Pennsylvania. Woo! And then they said 20 states is considering. So that's deep in this video that you just now watched. Stop that newspaper article. I'm going to go look at it to get a glimpse of what those states are. And see y'all next time. Remember, the recovery is the inside job, and we're out of here. Peace.